We have a lot to get to today, and we begin with a brand new CBS News poll. It doesn't have a lot of good news politically for President Biden. His approval rating is at 44%, his lowest in our polling since he took office. And it's the economy that is taking a toll on the president's standing as prices for food, gas, and other items continue to rise. 67% of Americans now disapprove of the president's handling of inflation. Joining us now to discuss it is CBS News Director of Surveys and Elections, Anthony Salvanto. Anthony, the economy is in recovery, but many Americans apparently don't feel that way.
Good morning, Margaret. That's right, because to many Americans, when they rate the economy, it's what's right in front of them, the prices they're paying, in this case, at that gas pump or that cash register. Let me tell you a story about views on the economy over the course of this year. Back in the winter, views were low, but then as people thought the pandemic was easing and optimism was on the upswing as we headed into the summer, views of the economy started to rise. Then as we headed into the fall in our polling, well, people started feeling the effects of inflation and views of the economy started to dip again back down to the lower level where they are today. Now, how does this relate to President Biden? Well, when you look at how people evaluate him in handling a range of issues, on handling the economy specifically, on handling inflation specifically, he's underwater at 39% on the economy, at 33% good on handling inflation. And then the kicker here, Margaret, is that when you ask people how they're evaluating Joe Biden, which criteria, they say top answers, the economy and inflation.
Anthony, just how significantly is inflation impacting Americans' lives?
So first of all, people say that they notice the things they usually buy are costing more. They notice that some things are hard to get on store shelves. And then you say, well, what impact does that have on people? And for a majority, they tell us that that's either a difficulty or even a hardship. That's particularly the case for people in middle and low incomes. So what do they say they're doing about it? Well, a lot of folks say that they're cutting back on spending, maybe holding off buying one of those big ticket items, maybe even curtailing their holiday spending a little bit. And the other thing here, Margaret, is people know why there is inflation. They tell us they know that there are supply chain issues, that there's pent-up demand after the pandemic. So those are market forces. But as we often see in the polling and opinion, even if it's market forces, people sometimes want some relief from those forces. And that's where they turn to political leaders and say they want them to do something about it, Margaret.
Right. You didn't cause it, but I want you to fix it. Anthony, Democrats know they have a problem with these economic headwinds, but the argument is that the trillions of dollars in spending packages will offset that. How do Democrats feel about the strategy? How do they feel about the president himself?
So let me start here. Democrats, like most Americans, say they're feeling the effects of inflation, things costing more than they did, things often not in stock. Now, Democrats don't say that to the same extent Republicans do, because frankly, there's always a little bit of partisanship that creeps into some of these responses. But when you look at the way Democrats then rate the president on handling inflation specifically, yes, a majority approve, but he's at 38% disapprove, which for the president's base is not exactly a great number in context. And then when you look at his approval rating among Democrats, well, it's 80%. That's good. But in this modern political era where the base is so important to a politician, well, 20% disapproval, that's among the lowest that you'll see. So that's a place where they think they probably want to shore up the base. The infighting maybe in Congress hasn't helped. Certainly Democrats feeling the effects of inflation. And those are the numbers I think to watch going forward, Margaret.
Anthony Salvanto, thank you.